Everyone has memories stored in mind from experiences. That's why we call background knowledge. When a person is in the process to learn a new language, the person is going to compare what he already knows with what he's learning and tend to produce a pattern of the previous language. Uh, Spanish constructs sentences in which the adjective is placed after the noun, and in English it works the other way around. So a very good example could be like when we have a sentence like the pretty girl, which is the right word order in English. However, an Hispanic student is going to produce the girl pretty, since it is the right order in Spanish. One of the issues of Hispanic speakers at the time to develop their oral speak skills is that in Spanish they lack certain sounds in their phonemic inventory, and there are certain sounds in Spanish which are missing in inventory in English. That is the case of the English speakers trying to learn Spanish, and in both cases, the student will have difficulties to produce those sounds. The knowledge of this is a valuable tool to the instructor because he or she will be able to anticipate these problems and prepare his or her class accordingly to assist a student to overcome these problems. Uh, Everybody knows that students are able to read and write the second language they are learning, but at the time to express their ideas orally, they hesitate because of the pronunciation or the sentence structure or the fear to be judged by peers. It is very important to create an environment in the class for the students to feel comfortable speaking. To develop oral skills, the teacher must keep in mind the age of the student and his or her interest. Another thing that we have to keep in mind is to set the class in an informal way in which the student is going to feel at ease at the time to have a conversation. If it looks like we are evaluating the student is going to feel uneasy at the time to participate in the oral exercise. But if we talk to the student about an informal setting like a casual conversation, the student is going to be more willing to participate. One of the according to the research that I have done about this subject, some of the students, when they reach the last level in adult education, they master the language, but speaking is an issue. They just don't feel comfortable practicing the oral skills. And in a different setting, when the student is in the hallway or when we meet before entering in the class, I realized that they use English with me in a very comfortable way. So I decided to try it, and it is paying off. Students are feeling comfortable, and they don't find that that I am evaluating their speaking skills when I do it informally, and they do it. At the end, I get a final product. They produce their conversation, and they do it in a meaningful way. When we do it in middle school, and if you want to engage middle schoolers in conversation, we have to talk about video games, technology, family conversation, movies. middle schoolers are more willingly to get engaged in those kind of conversation. Adults will engage in conversation in which their personal growth is the topic, and things like how to obtain a better paid job or how to save money, how to make a resume, the interview process. And in all these different cases, we have to take into account the age, the interest of the students, and everything that is going to make them feel at ease at the time of practicing the language. So I would say that the development of oral skills require a carefully planning of the class in the early stages with description of pictures of their family, countries, or to talk about the customs of their country, like what they eat, what they cook, the music they play, the way they dance. And eventually we get a very good participation of the students in class. Well, I think this cover my topic, chapter 6, which is developing oral skills. As part of the research, it is also important to say that listening it has a very close connection to speaking, and once the student is able to understand whatever he hears, he's able to talk about it, and by repeating and practicing the sounds of what they hear, they improve their speaking skills. Well, I guess that I cover my chapter 6. If something else is necessary, please let me know, and I would deliver a deeper insight of this assignment. Thank you very much. Bye.